Hi. Do I look goofy? Well, I feel goofy. I'm sitting here waiting for a load to be unloaded, and I get a Qualcomm message telling me to call the log department and take a test. Why do I have to take a test? Well, because when they do that, it means that you've done something wrong, and they want you to take a test to make sure that you know the right thing and the wrong thing. I don't know what happens if you don't pass the test. Well, I passed the test, and you have to contact the log department. And the log department says, "Oh, okay, you passed the test, but this is the reason why I should take the test." They said back on January 23rd, you were supposed to stop driving. Your day ended at your 14 hours. Now you have 14 hours in a day. If you go beyond your 14 hours, you're not supposed to do anything. You're not supposed to move. You're not supposed to sleep. Excuse me, you're not supposed to drive. You're just supposed to sleep. You're supposed to be at a safe haven. Well, they said was your 14 hours went over at 7:45, and you started driving at 8:15. Do you have an answer for that? I said, no, not really. It's back on the 23rd. I really don't know what's going on. Well, we don't know what's going on either, so we have to kind of figure this out. That way we know how to handle this. They passed the test, so everything's okay. We have to take that violation off. Well, I said maybe what's happening is that I work for an account um, that you go to a shipper and it takes them a while, just like I'm doing now. It takes them a while. Let me turn off my radio. It takes them a while to unload you sometimes, and sometimes it might take 4 to 6 hours for them to unload you. And you might have plenty of hours when you get there, but you don't have enough hours. And you can't necessarily tell them, "Hey, can you all hurry up because I'm out of hours." Some people try that, but then the shippers go, "We'll fix them," and usually you're last in line. And I've been there, done that. I've been the first one in, last one out. Not from anything I've said, but because I usually carry a lot of product and they have to unload it and they have to count. Well, he said after I told him, I said, well, maybe the shipper wouldn't let me wanted me to leave, and I had to leave because a lot of times they'll tell you you need to get off our property, get out of our dock. We're done with you. You've accomplished what you're supposed to accomplish. Now we don't need you anymore. We're done. So now you got to get off the property. Otherwise they'd have a whole bunch of trucks sitting out there waiting. Particularly in this type of a situation. So he said, well, the only recourse that you have to think ahead, on what you're going to do. It's kind of like, well, you don't know how long it's going to take. Some loads, they take, you think it's going to take a long time, and they end up taking for, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not really, but they take a short period of time. And then other ones, you think they got the small amount of product and stuff, but they're going to, they take 5 breaks in a half hour, and they go off here and they go off there, and of course they got to talk to their mamas, they got to talk to their boyfriends and girlfriends, and then of course they got to count, and they have to recount because the first person didn't get the right count. But anyway, you can't tell when how long it's going to take them to load and unload you, as a shipper or a receiver. So he's saying, well, the only recourse, to get this, the only recourse that you have is to A, have somebody else come and drive your truck because you're not allowed to. B, you can what you can do is that you can stay there and force them and tell them it's illegal, that you can't move. Or C, that you excuse me, D would be well, they're both about the same absurdity. The last two recourse that you have is you can have the truck and the trailer towed to a safe haven. Come on now. Or the fourth one would be have a police officer with lights escort you to a safe haven. I mean, this is so stupid. Now, what's going to happen in July is we're going to have to take, I think it's 2 breaks. Well, we can't do, we're not going to be able to do anything. We're going to have to take 2 breaks, and one of them is going to have to be between 1 and 5. Well, they're talking about a lot of these day trucks, deliveries and stuff. They do most of their deliveries at nighttime, and they're saying, we do this purposely. We do it early so we don't hit the rush hour traffic going in, and we don't hit the rush hour traffic going out. I mean, this is just getting so absurd. It's not even funny. It's kind of like, and you take the test, and the test questions are so stupid. The stuff that you already know what to do, but it's like you've got 15 seconds to answer this question. And it's kind of like, if your zipper is down, do you 1, do you zip it up? Push 2, if you zip it up and tell somebody that your zipper was down. 3, you leave it down and don't worry about it. Or 4, you let everybody see what color underwear that you have on and don't do anything at all. I mean, it gets really absurd. I mean, really dumb. So, you gotta kind of take the good with the bad, but I'm a little bit perturbed at the fact that, that they get so, all right, I'll use the word, they get so anal about it, about the situation. Driving a truck is fine. Being on a truck is fine. But sometimes the rules and regulations. I'm not a big rule and regulation person, as you probably can tell. But I like to follow the rules. I am a company person. I am a by the book person. But it's so absurd what they make you do. A half hour. I mean, I was at the ship. This is the whole absurdity. The whole idea is that they don't want you overtired. They don't want you they don't want you to wreck because you're overtired, particularly if you have sleep out in the air if you've been running. But chances are, I was at the shipper, and during that period of time of them unloading or loading me, whatever the case may be, I was probably sleeping, so I got my rest. He even told me that I had 2 hours of sleeper berth time, which means I was probably sleeping during that time. So that's absurd. I had my rest, and we're talking about a half hour. I stopped at 8:15, started at 7:45, and at 8:15, I found a safe haven. Probably pulled off into a rest stop or a truck stop, so I could get the rest of my break. Now I'm aware of rules. I'm aware of regulations, but let's get it's almost like some of these company log people are, when they were kids and stuff, they went to their mamas and said, "Look, mom," with a pile of doo-doo in their hands, and said, "Look, mom, look what I almost stepped in." I mean, where's the common sense? That's all I gotta say about that today. That's all I gotta say about that. Speaking about box of chocolates.